Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TurboFest, a 3-day celebration of all things TurboGrafx 16. We're going to keep this quote-unquote race going. I'm not sure if there was much of a race last time.
I don't think neither me or Latt de-rusted this properly. So yeah, let's see what the game.
This is gonna be fun. If you're just joining us, that's Dog with the voice of Dogveloper. Dog, congrats on the Legend of Hero Toma win, the champion of TurboFest.
I mean, the game allowed me to. That's the only thing. The game allowed me to. If the game didn't want me to win, I wouldn't.
Hey, take it with you, man. Wear with a badge of honor, okay? This is Splatterhouse, and I don't know if you can say that there are well-known games on the TurboGrafx 16, but this one is one of the ones that some people might be aware of, and it's a great horror game. You're going to see a lot of different things showcased in the speed run. Doug, you're going to be playing the North American TurboGrafx 16 version. Is that correct? Okay,
correct. The red mask censored one that I think was part of the reason of the ESRB being created because of violence.
Yes.
So yeah.
This game got mentioned in the North American Congress, the U.S. states. So I'm going to play the Japanese version, and I'll be the one with the white mask. And you can probably guess some obvious reasons why it changed colors over in the U.S. version. Probably because people were going to sue and things like that. Just taking a guess. Also, there are a couple things that got censored in the U.S. version. That's why hopefully we get a chance to show off, and you can see what both of them look like. So. Okay, cool. Dog, you ready?
So, there we go.
Okay. I do got to say, I got to go 2 quick shout outs before we go, actually. Stormcrow and Zallard are both in the chat. Hey, guys, what's up? Great to see you. Folks, Zallard had the world record for this game for a very long time where he was grinding the game and nobody else was really playing it. And then Stormcrow, if you watch do yourself a favor after watching our race and watch the world record. Stormcrow just destroys it with his run. So really high-level runners of this game, which is pretty great. Okay, shall we?
Let's go.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and go. So, right off the bat, we're going to be sliding and jumping, and there are many different reasons for this. First of all, when you slide, it does twice the amount of damage. And also, sliding is a lot faster than just walking around. So, in a speedrun, obviously, we want to go as fast as possible. There are, for the most part, this game is quite straightforward. And until you get into some of the later stages, it doesn't have a ton of RNG. You literally are just moving through the stage as fast as you can, defeating the enemies as you go.
If I'm not mistaken, up to like the second half of stage 4, it's pretty much set on stone.
Yep. Good point.
So yeah, it's execution, purely.
And I will say that's I think makes, the speedrun kind of approachable, is that they're, especially for the first few stages, you can just, if you learn the mechanics, you can actually pick up the speed game of this.
For the first boss here, we don't really need to chase these lugs. We can just sit on the middle and break dance. But it's going to give us a little bit of stuff to do and just not be passive.
Ooh, there you go. Good luck, red mask of the chat. Nice. So we're going to start seeing, not in this stage, in stage 3 will be, I think, the first time we actually see a regional difference. So we'll point those out as we go along. Mine is just the obvious on the mask.
Character change.
Yeah.
Also, weapons in this are kinda useless. So even though we do beat the 2x4, it's not that useful.
So I was one of those kids, actually, when I was growing up. We had a TurboGrafx 16 around, so I'm pretty sure we may have been the only family with a TurboGrafx 16 in like a 50-mile radius. But as a kid, picking up a 2x4 and blasting monsters against a wall, this just seemed like the coolest thing I'd ever done in my entire life. And I got to tell you, as a 39-year-old adult, still pretty satisfying. Just saying.
This is very impressive for like a home release.
Absolutely. So, Doug, you mentioned you're playing this on Virtual Console. Is that correct?
Yes, as I was doing with Toma. But on Toma, I was actually using a Super Nintendo mini controller.
Nice.
That I got recently. For this, because I played it so much on the mode, I cannot play on anything else. So yeah, I'm doing it with a very, very tiny D-pad, and not that ergonomical shape of the wheel.
unbelievable, I gotta say, because the D-pad is so tiny on the Wiimote. So to be doing these tight inputs on a Wiimote is really impressive, man. Dogs and IPBs are pretty close to each other, our personal best. So, all things being equal, right? Exactly. We could be pretty close here. A couple different. So this is a port of an arcade game, similar to the way Legend of Haratoma was, and a pretty good one at that. Actually, it has the same stages and everything like that. Very similar enemies. But in this game, you actually get 2 health restored in between levels instead of 1 health. So it makes it a little bit easier, a little more approachable as a home console game. What's the next stage? Regional difference. This is one of the first levels where you can actually take a different path. If you fall into one of these little things on the ground there over the bridge, it's a different path to get to the end of the level. So, oh, geez.
Don't do that.
Yeah, way slower, especially speed. It's also, I think, a little more challenging, to be honest with you. Ooh, close. Well, no death yet, so we're getting lucky so much for the first part. If you do want to play the game, as Dog mentioned, he's playing the Virtual Console version. It's also available as like some of the Namco, celebrations as part of that. It's pretty easy to get a hold of this game.
At least the arcade version on the 3D Splatterhouse that wasn't like the PS3 or 360, I don't quite know. But you can unlock those on the
Good point.
as a bonus feature. You can unlock all 3. This, Splatterhouse 2, and 3 on the Genesis.
Absolutely. The spears that you see here, as far as the speedrun goes, are completely useless. There are some interesting strats. What's that?
But all weapons do 2 damage, but nah.
It's just it's challenging to carry with you. Yeah,
correctly.
I totally agree.
Only weapon that is useful. Only 2 weapons that would be useful are the shotgun that we saw last stage and the golden cleaver that we're going to see on this one.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice that this part of the room, at least on my screen, is an auto-scroller. The only difference about this game compared to like a normal auto-scroll like you might remember from Mario Brothers or anything is that you can actually stop the auto-scroll. And
if
obviously
you
in the speedrun, you don't want to do
too
that.
far behind, the screen stops.
And that can happen here too in the mirror room.
By the way, another small difference from US to JP is that the mirror rig, instead of being just off color from the white or little grayish, it's a blue mask.
In the US version, it's blue, huh?
It's a blue mask.
Oh my gosh. I've not noticed. I haven't played the US version in so long, I almost forget what some of those differences are.
Okay, not for the biggest change.
One of the biggest ones. So you're going to notice a big difference between the look of the stage and the boss itself here.
Just look at the ceiling for me, compared to the ceiling for Latch, and on the end of the stage there is also very obvious weird. If I don't die for this boss, because Jesus Christ.
There's kind of a cool glitch you can do here where you can glitch this boss and do the area on the side, but it's not. I'm actually not 100% sure how to do it consistently. Oh, I'm about to die. We're gonna do it. Okay, first death. Death number 1.
The boss. This is where if you would be speedrunning this, you would just get up, go to the kitchen, make a sandwich, brew some coffee, come back and still have like 20 seconds of the cutscene playing. Because it's just way too long.
The dog is on the longest cutscene of the entire game.
Also,
I got the cycle to do the glitch.
You're gonna see the altar that is supposed to be here instead of just floating candles.
Yes.
That is the most hilarious censor ever. They didn't even bother changing the graphics, just deleted it.
I've always wondered about this, and I was wondering if, like, in the arcade version, was this, any different? Because this cutscene, you just stand here for, like, ever. And after, playing the arcade version...
lighting effects, and audio stuff, but it's as long as it is.
So the crosses you see everywhere, those are not on dog screen, as you noticed.
Well, and the boss as well. The boss is a floating cross.
Yes.
Original and a floating blue head on sensor.
So stage 5 is where we start to get a taste of things being a bit more random, especially in the first room, which I assume Dog is through at this point.
Intentional death in the water because low health.
That's a good death. That's a really good place to take a death. It only costs you, speedrun wise, you could continue on with your run to take a death there.
Or here. Either here or the dog room later. About the same.
Correct. Go. Oops. Okay, so I'm probably in taking a death here too, so I'm going to take some intentional damage. I'm sorry, say it again, Doc?
For the mini-boss I'm currently on, if you let it complete the chant, the zombies will respawn, so we try to kill it as fast as possible. Also, if you get to a certain point, the screen will lock, and you have to fight it without the scrolling.
Very true. On my screen, I'm taking some intentional damage, so I don't want to take a death here because it's a bit slower. I'm going to take a death on the next screen, but because we want as much health as we can have in the final boss, and you'll see why. Oh, I just took a dumb death. No, oh, that was intentional. I mean, what am I talking about? That was all part of the way we're supposed to go here. This is one of those games too that only has a certain amount of continues. So if you are playing through this casually, you only get 5 continues, which was not enough my first time playing through, but maybe for you. So
you do have a cheat we can state select.
We do. So for those of you that are considering speedrunning any of these games, unfortunately on the TurboGrafx 16 for the original console itself, there is no flash card or EverDrive or anything like that that does save states. So when a game has a stage select like Splatterhouse does, oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It almost feels like a treat.
Okay, Jennifer was terrible. Got hit 3 times.
I'm gonna try. So you had to go through 3 cycles, Dog?
2.
Cool. Okay, so at least you saw the animation, the plot twist. You know that your girlfriend is actually an alien, but or whatever they are in this game. But I'll try and do the speed right here. See if we can get it.
For the transformation thing that was mentioned, Jennifer changes back to human and to monster with the save me cutscene on specific health values, and since the slide deals 2 damage, we can skip that specific value and make so we never have a cutscene happen.
I'm going all 3 cycles for you, Dog. Or I'm just wanting to add as much time as I possibly can.
I mean, gotta show up the game, right?
Worst makeover. Dog is now in stage 6, which is just as heavy as RNG as this game offers. So
it's like D RNG place.
It really is. And if stage 5 is the first place you're going to start resetting as you're learning the run, stage 6 will be the next part. Because oftentimes you'll have to deal with this room with less health than full health, and the way that these things spawn and the way that they move are, for the most part, I don't know, kind of random. I will say in the instructions, when in the booklet that came with the game here, this level is referred to as the womb, and so those are...
Just gave me the stage. Thank you, game. Very good RNG here on the double spawns.
Oh, congrats. Nice. Anyway, there are many jokes we could make about that, but we're going to try to keep it somewhat family friendly. So...
Okay, getting now to the last stage. It's pretty much a cutscene after the boss. You're gonna see the fire bikini people Say hi. Hello, fire bikini people.
Fire bikinis!
You cannot damage them. Just wait for them to jump over you. And if someone is on fire, do not hug them.
Do not help them. Don't know what they were thinking with the fire bikinis, but it's a thing in this game. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, son of a gun. That guy jumped right past me. Well, you're going to see stage 6 again. Good, you're good. Stormy, are you? You're being sarcastic.
A little bit quiet here for the boss. Do not want to mess this up.
I think, you know, and every time I've played this on RGL, there's a good chance I've died on this stage every single time. Can't confirm that, but I feel like I've died on this level multiple times.
And I lost when we did one of the first main cut one. That was like an hour and a half. The arcade version of the bubble room.
It's brutal.
So,
it is absolutely
I know
brutal.
the pain. And time is when we lose control.
Ah, GG, dog.
1406.
Oh,
Minus 1 second because we started on press start 1405.
Right, that's highly respectable. GG, man. That's a great run.
Cage for the marathon. We had that.
Ah. I'm just going to mash. We'll play it safe here. What you want to do is slide in there like that, because then you get more hits that way. So we'll try and do another one.
The slides are a little bit unsafe there, because you can slide and just as you stop sliding, have control yet, you can spawn something and damage you.
When did we have control? Good question. That's a great question. Never, really. Okay, off to the last stage. As Dog already mentioned, people on fire. Are they people? I don't even know. At some point, I should learn the lore of this game. You will see a regional difference here, though, compared to Dogs, which is kind of cool.
On my screen, we had a gravestone. On that screen, it's going to be a very, very low-cost wooden cross.
The less expensive wooden cross. That producer, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, Cheese. And there's the wooden cross.
Or good names
Some of my
credits, always.
It's fun if you have a chance to play through the arcade version and this version of the game, because there's some really cool, you know, the arcade was able to take advantage of some sound effects that the home console version couldn't reproduce.
I like the TurboGrafx sound more.
Nice. Great song. I mean,
on SFX is just better, I think, in my opinion.
I do really like this tune here at the end. The boss music is pretty cool. The game does look and feel at times like a horror movie, you know. So
it's not expected. The music does not fit. It's fantastic, but it does not. I love it.
No,
but it's not mood.
The NES Splatterhouse really plays on that whole movie idea. Oh, geez, I gotta do this again. Man, more death.
Unpack Your Graffiti, that is the Famicom adaptation
of
this. It's pretty much a parody of B horror movie production.
Okay, the nice thing about having full health going into the final boss, though, is I will be able to show you a couple of the speed strats that, if you were grinding for a world record, you would need to execute, but Red RG, yeah, you know, those darn peanuts falling from the sky.
Let's start a poll and watch the things that the boss throws to the sky are. We have chocolate chips, we have bread,
almonds.
We have almonds, yeah. There's just a lot.
Okay, there we go. Try to get a slide in. Okay, there we go. Try to get a slide in. Oh, I missed my slide. Oh, geez, and I still got hit. I suck. Well, I don't think I'm going to, I think at this point, I'm just going to try to finish the game. So, and once again, if you're wondering why 20-minute estimate, this is why. Because Matt might miss things.
Really wrong, though. It's an arcade game.
Dude, I got hit again.
To punish you.
Yay. Got to stay away from the almonds. The nice thing is if there is a game over for some reason, you actually just start back at the beginning of the stages if you lost a life. So that's kind of nice. A little bit forgiving in that sense. But only 5 continues, so. Okay. The giant hands. Okay, finally. Holy cow. Once again, GG on the timer stops when you lose control. And that's why I punch at the end, so I know when I actually lose control of the... I think it's when the things spew out of the face of that thing.
Little orbs start exploding.
Dog, congrats. GG on the win.
GG on finishing the game. We need to get a proper race of this.
At some point, maybe do a 2 out of 3 or something, right? Where I'm a little less terrible and in PB shape. Hey, thanks to the GGs folks in chat. I appreciate it.
And had any technical issues this time. So
yeah, see, I have no excuse for sucking.
I'm gonna blame you having like 20 games in a marathon.
This is folks, if you're ever wondering about participating in a marathon, which games do you sacrifice? Something's gonna be sacrificed, so.
Yeah, don't do like Latt and submit everything you know.
Maybe made a mistake. Who knows? Hey, I'm enjoying hanging out with y'all here and showing off the console. As you can tell, I'm a big fan.
Great rounds.
So it's really been great seeing all these great games already. But folks, I got to tell you, perhaps the main event of tonight is coming up next. And if you haven't seen Bald Nate play Ninja Spirit, then you really haven't seen Ninja Spirit the way it was intended to be played. So I think it's time. I think we need. I think we're going to call it here. So the great credits here. You already saw them on dog screen, but I think everyone get comfortable and get ready for a game. This. I don't think I've this ever. I haven't even watched Nate do this on his own stream, the Tour de Ninja. So this is going to be a ton of fun. Yet.
I know the 20% on the sword only, but everything else for me is going to be a new experience.
Heck yes. So thanks for having us. Really appreciate it. RGL, thank you so much for putting this whole thing on. Tons of fun. And
True Ninja. That is going to be probably one of the most amazing runs you ever saw.
Ah, the good old Ninja Spirit. Ninja Spirit is next. Hype. Ooh.